So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, so today we are going to study the induction motor. How do we calculate the losses inside the rotor of an induction motor? Now, as far as the losses are concerned, we have got passive elements like resistor, inductor, and capacitor. So, in as far as the resistance is concerned, loss will only happen in resistive element. Whereas your inductance is concerned or your capacitance is concerned, there if it is a pure inductance, then there would be no loss as such, but there would be drop in voltage. In capacitance also, if it's a pure capacitance, there won't be any loss as such. Oh, okay. So we have to calculate the losses. In reality, we are not having any pure inductor or pure capacitor. We are having some component of resistance involved. So we definitely, although the name is suggesting induction motor, but in the induction motor, as far as the winding is concerned, or for that matter, if the transformer is concerned, if you are seeing the copper winding, it comprises of some amount of resistance. Although resistance will not be very huge, but the predominant quantity would be inductance. Also there would be some little amount of resistance. Here also in induction machine also there would be some amount of resistance involved. Similarly, if you are going for your DC motor also, although the name is suggesting DC motor, but the winding in which it is wound comprises of both resistance and inductance. Now today here in this topic we are going to study about rotor resistance and how to calculate this rotor resistance. So when we studied about the induction motor, we came across a terminology called as the bar current. After that, we have seen end rings. In the very first length of this, we calculated the how to calculate the end ring current. We calculated and got an expression for end ring current. Then we calculated an expression for bar current, and we have seen a lot of factors. What are the factors that are affecting the induction motor? Those factors we have studied in the yesterday's class. Also we have done one particular problem. Okay. And length of air gap calculation. Now we are going to this wind up this induction motor with the rotor resistance calculation. And how do we calculate the rotor resistance? Now each one of you are knowing that your loss as far as your induction motor is concerned, it would be I square R. But as far as the bar rings are concerned, the bars one is at top and another is at the bottom, that end ring. So one at top, another at bottom. So it would be twice IE square into RE. Now we are establishing this particular thing. So the rotor resistance over here you are seeing the rotor winding resistance of a slip ring motor is given below. See, this is rho L by A. So what I am using is your the rotor resistance per phase. uh, you can refer it to another side also. So this is the total L into TR is total length and number of turns, because this is your circumference. It can be also written as pi d 2 pi r, or you can write rho L by AR, and this is your circumference. This is so the rotor resistance per phase referred to stator. So from rotor to stator, if you are referring one side to another side, you know that R dash is equal to KWS by TS, KWR by TR by RR, which we have seen this in transform also. That is nothing but you in the turns ratio. VP by VS, V primary by VS is equal to N primary by IS is equal to your I secondary by IP. Now you can see this. See, VP by IP will give you RP, okay, and VS by IS will give you RS. So you can relate RP and RS in terms of VP VS and VS IS. So similarly here, see, your VS, or in other terms you also write it as ES. VS or ES, same thing. Now voltage only you are representing. Now voltage VS or ES you can write like NP by NS is equal to ES by EP. Only the terminology will change, but the thing will remain same. Whether you called it as a voltage or EMF, same thing. So if you are seeing your ES, you how do you write your ES? 4.44 K WS TS, okay, and F5. So the quantities which are similar is 4.44. F is also same there. Phi is also same. Only thing that is stator, this winding factor and the rotor side, it will change, and the number of turns it is changing. So RR dash is equal to, you can refer any which ways. RR dash is equal to KWS TS KWR TR by RR. So now in the cage rotor induction motor, the rotor resistance includes what? It includes the resistance of all the rotor bars and end rings. So a rotor bar's resistance of each rotor bar would be simply given by rho LB by AB. I have written. So, and resistance of each end ring is a circular cross section. So its length would be 2 pi r or pi ds. This is the circumference. This is length represented here. This would be rho pi ds. This is length, nothing but as length. Le also you can write, or you can write pi ds divided by area of the end ring. Simple formula in the class also we have seen. Resistance is equal to rho L by A. It's a definition of the resistance basically. If you have to define resistance, how do you define? You define at a constant temperature and pressure, your electrical field intensity is equal to your voltage gradient, or your current density is equal to your electrical field potential. That means your J is equal to your V by L. J is equal to your V by L. Electrical field, see, potential is equal to V by L. Voltage per length is equal to what? I by A. So V by L is equal to I by A. So if you cross multiply, what you will get? V divided by I, you will get R, and R is equal to your rho L by A, is where rho is the constant of proportionality. It depends upon the type of material. So this rho is the resistivity. Like copper, if you are using, it is much better. And if you are using gold for this transfer. So have you heard this definition of Ohm's law before? Huh? You can hear me? Hello, Viramani? Viramani, have you heard this definition? Huh? Hello?
Yes, sir.
If somebody asks you what is Ohm's law, how do you define? This definition you take down, because in an examination they can ask you, like an interview question, you can define it and it can earn you points and you can get a job. You know how do you
Yes,
define
sir.
it? This what I am telling you, this R is equal to rho L by A, na? So this is actual definition of Ohm's law. How do you define Ohm's law? Ohm's law you define at constant, write down this in a book, at constant temperature and pressure, at a constant
Sir,
temperature.
everyone should say, sir.
uh, so you write down in your mobile or message, or you write down, you should sit with a copy and pen when you are listening to my lecture, because it should give as close to the what you say, the lecture. So you write down at constant temperature. See, at constant temperature and pressure, what happens is your current density is J is equal to I by A. That is current per area, is proportional to your electrical field
Sir,
per
can you
unit
repeat,
length
sir?
at constant pressure and temperature. At constant Ohm's law, you write down Ohm's law and then you write down definition of it, is at constant temperature and pressure. At constant temperature and pressure, your current density of any material is equal to its electrical field per unit length, or electrical field potential. Okay, electrical gradient also we say, electrical gradient. This electrical gradient is called electrical field per unit length. This is V by L. So you can write down your your I by A, that is J is equal to your proportionality constant into E. So you can write down I by A is equal to rho V by L. So now you can, if you cross multiply, you will get R is equal to rho L by A. So this is the definition of your this Ohm's law, actual definition. Now we are interested to calculate this definition of induction motor in what do we say is in our induction motor. So as far as our induction motor is concerned, so the induction motor total resistance of the rotor would be the resistance in the bars. Okay, and resistance in the bars would indirectly depend upon the stator, sorry, the slots in the rotor, plus twice the resistance in the end rings, because you have two end rings, one at top, another at bottom. As they are, see, SR number of rotor bars and two end rings are there. So total copper loss, you can write SR into IB square into rho LB by AB, and total loss in two end rings would be twice I square. I told you it is twice I square this, and this is what, this is R, this is R, rho LB by AB, this is R. Same thing we have seen here. Now this RB I have taken, rho LB by AB here. This is R, rho pi ds by AE. Same thing here, rho pi dE by AE. Okay. Now IE, you seen last time also we have calculated. This is average current of bar into number of bars over half a pole pitch. So you can write this as 2 by pi IB max into SR by 2P. So you get this IE as SR IB into pi P. So this is in terms of your maximum current. If you want the RMS value, here root 2 will come. Okay. This thing in the next class, in the previous class also, we have submitted the PDF to you. You can just go through it and you can relate with it. So here now the total loss would be the combination of these two things. One is the loss in the bar and another is the loss in the end rings. So the total loss would be, see, two, this one, this plus this. So this plus this is the total loss. So when you are getting this total loss, when you are getting this, this thing you are seeing here, two, this thing and all thing, other things that I was just about to do this particular thing, this equation I was just calculating. So your total loss would be the combination of these two. So when you combine equation 1 and equation 2, you have to add the equation 1 and 2, you will get the total loss. So you have to write IE in terms of IB only. So IE you will write in terms of IB. So here what I have done is I have wrote IB in terms of IE. So this IE happens to be SR IB by pi P. So SR square, IB square, pi square, P square, it will come. So 2 into C, SR IB whole square, pi P whole square into this term, rho pi dE by AZ, rho pi dE by AZ. So this term, if you solve, you will get this equation. See here, 2, this is pi square na. So one more pi is here. So pi square, 1 pi square and 1 pi will get cancelled. So you remained with 2 by pi. Okay. So here you have SR square is here. Then IB square. Okay. DE. Okay. Then you have here AZ is left over here. This is your rho square. And this is not rho, this is number of poles. See here, this is so this here is not rho square, this is number of poles. This is P square. This is rho, this is P, pi P. This is not rho, by mistake it has been, this is pi P, because it is SR number of bars over half a pole pitch. So SR IB divided by pi by P. This is that pi by P. So this P square will be here. So you will get this equation. Okay, equation 3. Now you got this equation. So what you do is that equation 3 plus your equation 1, you can, now this is the total copper loss. Total copper loss would be your both the equations, you got the value of this thing, what you say, end ring, plus your this copper loss in the bars. So your equation 1 plus your equation 3, you combine and you will get the total copper loss. So total copper loss, you have IB square into RR. So IB square you have into RR. RR you have seen, RR is what? RR is stator slots into rotor bar resistance plus twice resistance of the end ring. You calculate here, you substitute these values, and you will end after your permutation and combination, you are going to get this value. This you just in your notebook, you see the PDF, you write these things. If it was a blackboard, it's very easy, but you will get this expression. R1 is equal to rho SR square LB SR AB plus 2 by pi DE rho square AZ. Now rotor resistance must be referred. Now if we are referring this again to the stator, so what we have to do is we have to just see rotor side resistance. If you are referring to the stator side, then you have to divide the stator side resistance by the number of turns square. So this is nothing but stator side resistance which you have got here. Here this is the stator side resistance divided by the number of turns square. So the number of turns square is here. Okay, now if you are doing it for a single phase, okay, but you are also considering for a three phase, so you have to take the number of poles, your slots per pole for a three phase divided by this whole square. So 3 being the number of phases of stator, where SR by P, what is this? SR by P is the number of phases of rotor winding, which is equal to the number of turns per pole. Now, number of turns per pole in the rotor side would be P by 2, since the number of turns in series per phase of rotor is equal to the number of pole pairs. See, a simple expression for this is here you are seeing one expression I have written. So here it's very much clear. RR dash would be equal to thrice into TS KWS 3 by P into P by 2. So this PP cancels. So 3 remains here. You get TS KWS, and this is the term just for explanation rho SR square. But just for explanation, this P and P will get cancelled. Okay, and you are left with this square. Okay, you are left with this square. And one more thing, here also there is SR square. Here also this will also get cancelled. Here also there is SR square. This square will get cancelled. Just for explanation I have written. So you are left with 3 TS, and this 2 square is in the bottom. It will come up 4. So when I get the new equation, so here also I can write like this. Same thing what I have shown you here. See, here I can do one more thing. I can express it as MR is equal to SR by P and TR is equal to P by 2. So same thing I'm doing it here also. Similar to it, see here. MS I'm writing K square, same thing. Is cancelled. So this expression I'm getting over here. So when I'm seeing this 4, one term is coming, 4, that term is coming. That term is coming because of this, you know what, this 2 squaring, this 4 will go up. So I'm coming with this term 4 ms square ts square kws. SR and SR square gets cancelled. I told you in the beginning also. Here you see this SR square and this SR will get cancelled, and you will be left with, see, this and this gets, see, this SR square gets cancelled. P and P in the numerator, P in the denominator gets cancelled. This 4 comes on the top. Rest things remain. Rest things are as it is. So when you are seeing my equation, when you are seeing my final equation, I'm getting 4 ms square ts square kws, and these are the rest things which you are seeing. Rest is remaining same. Rest, this thing is remaining same. Only this is getting cancelled, and rho is remaining. So when I'm seeing my final expression, I'm getting like this: 4 ms ts square kws rho lb srab plus 2 by pi into de rho square ae. So this is my resistance which I will get the expression. Now if you are having any doubts as such, because this is mathematical calculation, I have limitations, you can go and you can substitute those equations, and finally you will arrive at this particular. It is not some integration or calculus thing, it is just cross multiplication. And now there is one important question I'm seeing, like I'm having somebody told me, sir, you give the solution to the VTO questions, you are having something. Yes, I am having, but in those solutions what I am finding is that there are many mistakes are there. Many mistakes. Simply if you copy the solutions to it, it will not help. So what I'm doing is that I'm taking the VTO problems, common VTO problems over the years that are repeating, and those problems only I am doing. And 1 or 2 problems if I am doing, they are similar to those problems which are appearing in the video, so that an engineering approach and wholesome approach towards question attempting has to be done. It is not simply we will mug up a problem and hope the same values will come or the same denominations will come. That is where the problem lies. Engineering is basically learning different techniques and applying it. So let's go to the problem and let's see how this problem we can do. So finally we arrive at an equation where this ms is number of phases, that you can write 3. Already you had here, right? If you see here 3 you are having here. So this ms we are written that 4 into 3 ts square kws square p lb sr ab. So this formula you remember, because what happens is that I'm not in favor of mugging of formulas, but suppose this derivation does not come and this numerical comes, and you cannot derive this and then do it, because it will take you some 20 minutes to derive this, again 20 minutes to do this. So better you have to keep some important formulas at your fingertips, so that you can apply for the examination purpose. So calculate the equivalent resistance of rotor per phase with respect to stator. We'll do this problem. The current in each bar and end ring and total rotor copper loss for a 400 volt 50 hertz 4 pole 3-phase induction motor have following data. So it has following data. Stator slots, this is SS. Okay. Conductors per slot, this is ZSS 35. Conductors per slot 35. Current in each conductor, that is your current loading, IS is equal to 10 amperes. Rotor slots SR is equal to 57. Length of each bar is given in meter, so it is 0.12 meter. Area of each bar, you have to see, it is given in millimeter, so you have to multiply it with 10 power minus 6 if you have to convert it into meter. This is length. Area of each bar is given 9.5 into 5.5. So some 9.5 is length and this is 5.5 is width. Length, because the bar is rectangular in cross section, so it is length into breadth. So this is your length, this is your breadth. Mean dia of end ring is 0.2 meter, no problem. Mean dia, that is your end ring. So you know that your end ring, area of each end ring is 76 millimeter square. So again you see the units, you have to be very careful. And your rho is equal to 0.06, that is the resistivity of the material. Power factor is 0.85. So first thing we will calculate is that, let's calculate the number of turns, because it's a 3-phase system. So how do you go for calculation of the number of turns? So the number of turns depends upon the conductor, how many conductors are there per slot. So we know 35, so ZSS. And how many stator slots are there? Stator slots are 48. And so we know that your TSS is twice ZS. So it is one conductor will form 2 number of turns. Now for a 3-phase, your 6 TS is equal to ZS. So your TS would be basically ZS by 6. So first of all, you have to calculate your TS. So in order to calculate your TS, you know that is your ZS by 6. So ZS is what? ZS is the total number of conductors. So the total number of conductors would be how much? Conductors per slot into stator slots. See, conductors per slot into stator slots. Conductor per slot, slot cancelled, so we are left with conductors. So it is 35 into 48. 35 into 48 divided by, for TS, because TS is what? ZS by 6. So 35 into 48 divided by 6, so you get TS as 280. And now you have to calculate your current in the bar. Again, your current in the bar would depend upon your ZS, okay, into your KWS, that is the winding factor, IS cos phi. So basically this thing we are utilizing over here. So your current in the bar would be given like this: 6 times your 280, your this space factor is 0.955, this current in the bar is given 10, your power factor is given 0.85, and your rotor slots are given 57. So you calculated your bar current. So this formula also you have seen in the previous class, so you please go back to that section and relate to it. Now your IB also, this bar current is equal to SR IB pi by B. If you have to take RMS value, then you divide by root 2, but here no need, we are taking the maximum value. So SR is again 57, bar current you just now calculated 293.3, your pi is 3.14, your number of poles is 4, you substitute it, you will get a value of you will get a value which I've already written here, 39.3. Okay, no, see, this is your, sorry, this is your bar current. Now you want your end ring current. End ring current is SR IB pi into P. So you get your end ring current 108.6 amperes. Bar current, you get this. Now your bar resistance is rho LB into AB. So rho value it is given 0.02, LB value is given 0.12, and your AB is 9.5 into 5.5. Since it is millimeter, you have to multiply it, and you have to, that's why it is coming around 46 into 10 power minus 6. You put the units and you will get this value. And now you have to see I square R loss in the rotor bars that you have to calculate. That is your IB square RB into SR, because your IB you calculated, and your RB also you calculated, SR value also you know. So it comes around 150.15 watts. And now the resistance of each end ring also you have to calculate. To calculate the resistance of end ring RE, what it is, rho pi DE by RE, rho pi DE by RE. So I'm seeing 29 of you are present. Fakresh Nayak, Fakresh, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding? Any doubt you are having? Fakresh,
Sir, if
Shilpa?
you have doubt,
Ah,
you definitely ask you, sir.
no, anybody is having
Yes,
doubt,
sir.
Shilpa? Any doubt you are having at any point?
No, sir.
No, that is cross multiplication that you see when I'm going to give you the PDF. That cross multiplication you can understand. If you are having any doubt, you can please ask me. We basically what we are doing is that
So you'll be
I
giving the PDF for this, right?
yes,
You'll be giving the notes for this, right? The derivation and
no,
also.
yeah, notes and all, everything I have given already. I have submitted with Thara one complete module. 5 modules are there with Thara. That also you
Okay.
can look, that also you can look for reference. But I want you are having any doubt, you're understanding it, like your there has to be a paradigm shift in your learning style. The type of learning which you are going is not going to work. You have to, like, design means there can be so many options to design. There you can come up with many options, and more or less you will have similar answers, but your approach is important. So resistance of each end ring, again you are calculating, Re is equal to rho pi De by Re. So this is again rho L by, this is not Re, this is Ae. Okay, Ae, again you pi substrate 0.02 into 3.14, and this is the diameter value, diameter of the end ring. In the question also we have given na, here see diameter of the end ring 0.25, area of each bar 99.5 into 5.5. So power factor this thing, and resistivity 0.02. These are the values which I am substituting here. So you don't think here from somewhere, you see here 0.02, this pi is 3.14, this de 0.12, this is this. And see, this is this would be 10 power minus 3, 10 power minus 3, because this is millimeter. Hence what I have to do is multiply it with 10 power minus 6. Okay, so again I'm getting resistance 165.3 in 10 power minus 6. So you have to see that you cannot simply write. See here the length is in, if you see here the length is in meters, but here if you see entering millimeter square, here also it is millimeter square. So 1 millimeter square is equal to 10 power minus 6 meter square, because 1 millimeter is equal to how much, 10 power minus 3 meters. So accordingly you have to substitute. If you fail to substitute, you will get a wrong answer and it will result into loss of marks. So please be careful with your units when you are substituting, and please read the question once or twice very carefully, because you can score 100 out of 100 in electrical machine design. It is all mathematical subject and it's very easy subject, no calculus involved, simple mathematics, just cross multiplication. Even you don't get algebraic equations, it's first order, what do you say, linear equations, which is 10th class mathematics, which is very easy to understand. and you can score very easily in this subject. I want each of you to get more than 80 marks. It is very, very easy. We are doing all the problems which I am doing is from BTO exams only. I'm not doing some any foreign or something like that. Only my focus is that you, each one of you should get very good marks in machine design, such that your aggregate improves and your percentage improves. So your percentage improves, it will benefit in the long run. So total copper loss is equal to copper loss in rotor bars plus end rings. So this is calculated copper loss 150.15, and your end ring also you have calculated. This total copper loss is 540.15 watts. So again, you have to see to it that you have calculated the copper loss. Now you need the resistance. Now it's asking for the resistance. For the resistance, first you look at this problem. We will read this problem because our aim is not to finish the problem, but is to understand the problem. See, problem is almost done. Only thing is that I have to now substitute in these values. I have to now substitute in these values the answers. Wait, yeah. So I need to just TS value I have, KWS I have, P I have, LB, SR, AB. In this formula I have to substitute. By that time, you try to substitute and get me the answer for the end ring. Okay, now let's see. Calculate the equivalent resistance of rotor per phase with respect to stator. So that means you have to refer your stator resistance with respect to rotor. So from the first line that we have understood, what we have to do. Now then again, the second point says the current in each bar. So current in each bar is IB, and end ring current is IE, and total rotor copper loss for a 415 volt. So your voltage is 415 volt, 50 hertz. 50 hertz is your frequency. 4 pole, number of poles is 4. 3-phase induction motor have the following data. Now stator slots, this is SS, is equal to 48. Conductors per slot is equal to 35. Now if you have, see here, one very interesting thing is there. Now if you have to see the total number of stator slots into conductors per slot, what you will get. This is also stator slots only, na? So state slots and slots will cancel. So this will be 48 into 35 will give you the number of conductors, will give you Z. So the number of conductors, does that number of conductors has any relationship with the number of turns? Yes, if it was this is a 3-phase induction motor. Now from the very beginning I am telling you, if it is a single-phase induction motor, then your number of conductors is equal to twice the number of turns. Means your number of conductors is 2 times turns per phase. Now in case of a 3-phase conductor, your number of conductors is equal to 3 into 2 times T phase. That means your number of conductors Z will be equal to 6 times T phase. So by multiplying this 48 and 35, you will get number of conductors Z. So Z is equal to 6 times T phase. So T phase you can calculate. T phase would be equal to 48 into 35 divided by 6. So now you get the value of T phase. Okay, so an inference I'm making. Now current in each conductor is 10 ampere. So this means in each conductor the current, this is 10 ampere. Rotor slots SR is equal to 57. Length of each bar is 0.12. So length of each bar is 0.12. So resistance of the bar you can calculate rho LB by AB, and area of each bar, see length is given and area of each bar is given 9.5 into 5.5 millimeter square. Now here millimeter square you have to multiply into 10 power minus 6. Okay, because if you are converting into meter, if all dimensions are in meter, no problem. Because why you have to calculate it, see R would be equal to rho L by A. So in the denominator this 10 power minus 6 will be there. If this 10 power minus 6 we have to take in the numerator, it will become 10 power 6. And the mean diameter of the end ring is 0.2 meters. So you are seeing here, so the mean, so whenever you are having the highest value, you try to convert in that value only, meter. area of each ending is 76 millimeter square, again 10 power minus 6, and this is ohm per meter per millimeter square. This is your resistivity, is this power factor is 0.85. So first thing I told you the number of turns which you calculated. So the number of turns you have calculated is say 35 into 48 divided by 6. You got this value. Now you want to see what is the current. See what are the ampere turns. The current in the bar would be equal to your loading of the current would be how much? You tell me. Loading of the current in the bars would be equal to 6 times Ts kWs Is cos phi divided by SR. So this formula also we have seen in the previous class when we were talking about the bar current. You can go back to the previous PDF and you can just refer to that and you will arrive at this. What I'm asking you is that no problem, derivation also you have to keep in mind, but some with regard to induction motor, the next class would be revision class. In that class I'll be giving you some formulas and certain peripheries so that you can keep those in mind, and some 10 to 15 formulas if you are keeping on your fingertips. Suppose the derivation does not come, a numerical comes. So how to deal with that numerical, how you will solve within 5 minutes you can solve. Okay, so that also we will see. Similarly here you will substitute, you get the value of this. Now this IB again, this is your IE actually. This is not IB here. By mistake I have written this is your end ring current. You can relate your end ring current with respect to your this thing SR IB pi by P. See here. If you see in the derivation when I was deriving it on top, yes, this is your resistance. Okay, see your end ring current is average current in the bar. So average current is what? Average current is given by 0.637 times IB max. That in your basics it's given, or 2 by pi. If you do 2 by pi you will get 0.637. Are you getting 2 by pi? If you do, Viramani or anyone, 2 by pi you will get 0.637. Okay, so 0.637 IB max into now number of bars over half a pole pitch. So number of bars over half a pole pitch is SR by 2P. So this thing you are getting SR IB pi by P. If this is your IE max, if you want RMS value of IE, then you have to divide it here by √2. So this is SR IB pi by P. Okay, so this is the same thing IE which I have used here. IE again I'll this okay, we'll go to the numerical part. So here same thing, IE I have written SR IB pi by P. SR value is given 57. IB we just now calculated 239.3. Pi value is there 3.14 into 4. So you get your IE value as 108.6. Now your rotor resistance you need to calculate, that is rho LB into AB. So rho value is given 0.02. From the problem you can see it is given 0.02. Rho value is given. Okay, this LB value, length value is given. Length of each bar is 0.12 meter. So 0.12 meter, no problem, no need to change here. Now you have to see here, now area of each bar is given 9.5 into 5.5 millimeter square. So here there is some trouble now, we cannot write as it is. So 9.5 into 5.5 into 10 to the power of 6. Okay, 10 to the power of 6, because we are converting millimeter into meter. Okay, so it will come around this value, this will go up and this value will get. Similarly, I square R loss in rotor bars. Now rotor bars, in the bars, in the rotor bars there is resistance, but what is SR? See here, in the rotor bars how many slots are there? Okay, no problem. A rotor bar would be characterized by total number of rotor slots, and the resistance of each slot would be RB. So if for one slot the resistance is IB square RB, for SR number of slots, 51 slots, how much it would be? The loss would be through each bar, so it would be IB square RB into your SR. So same thing I have written over here. You can see IB square RB into SR. IB square I calculated 239.3. Yeah, 239.3 square. RB value it is there 46. SR value 46 10 power minus 6. SR value 50 cents. So you get loss value. Similarly, your resistance of each end ring is 2 times IE square RE. Okay, because two end rings are there. One here 57 slots were there. There two end rings are there. First, you have to calculate resistance of end ring. To calculate the resistance of end ring, this is rho pi de. See, this is also same. Rho L by A only. Now length, see, it is a circular cross section. For circle, what is the length of the circle? How do we calculate? In rectangle, you know the rectangle length is like this, width is like this. In a circle, what is the length? The circumference is the length of the circle. So that only, this is the length pi d or 2 pi r. This is the length of the circle. And area, again you have to see 0.2. Again you millimeter square is here. Again you have to substitute that value, and finally you get around 165.3 in 10 power minus 6. You just see here you have to substitute whether some mistake I have done or something like that. Values you have to see because I did not calculate it. So to rotor copper loss I've taken from this book. You have to just see. I did not cross verify. I thought it might be right, but sometimes it can be wrong also. You don't know, some printing mistake. But the analysis is correct, but the values you cross check. To rotor copper loss, you have copper loss in rotor bars plus end rings. So this is 150.15, 150.15 plus 390. So this happens to be 450.15 watts. Till here you have understood? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Everybody understood? Bindushri?
Yes, sir.
How many are
Yes,
there?
sir.
Okay, now I'm seeing 30.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shushmita? Shushmita, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sachin Reddy, are you understanding? Sachin? Okay. So what we are going to do is that after this, we see that we have to convert this rotor resistance per phase. So what we do is that we have this formula directly. We substitute the values 4 into 3. TS is 280. We have calculated square. KWS is given 0.955 square. Rho is given 0.02. And this value IB, this value is IB SR pi B plus 2 pi P square AE 0.2. These values are given. This SR value is given. This AB is given, and this is not IB. This is LB. LB. You see here also. You have, when we are constructing, this is LB. LB, length of the bar. So length of the bar is also given. Length of the bar is given 0.12 meter. Area of the bar is given. Area of the end ring is given. So area of the end ring is, everything is given. So you have to substitute here. You have to substitute this. This is area of the bar. This is AE, area of the end ring, 76. So while you are substituting it, these values, and you are cross multiplying, finally you will get the answer 2.5 ohms by substituting this equation. So hope you have understood. And what about the assignment part? So last week I have given you assignment. So the deadline for that is, I will not consider. 2-3 questions I have given you to do that. By Monday you please submit, because you are getting Friday, Saturday, Sunday holiday. So those 3 questions are with you. Please
Sir,
submit those.
Saturday also, sir.
Yeah, because tomorrow there is no class. Friday you have holiday. Saturday no. Saturday we will, but Saturday there is no class. Na EMD class is not there. Saturday
Okay,
EMD.
Okay, sir. We'll submit on Monday.
Okay, you submit it on Monday. So from what we'll do is that we'll end the class. So
Thank you, sir.
thank you very much.
Sir, where are questions, sir?
ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಹೋದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಅಯ್ಯೋ
ಮತ್ತೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದಾವೆ?
ಸರ್ ಹೋದ್ರು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ
ಅವನ್ ಎಲ್ಲೋದ್ನು
ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟ ಅವನು
ನೀನು ಕರೀತಿದ್ದ